The air buzzed, not just with insects, but with pure raw excitement. Liam, Maya, Chloe and Ben stood at the edge. Before them, the Amazon jungle, a vast green mystery. They were young, ready for anything, or so they thought. This was their dream adventure, a true test. They had trained for months, learning survival basics. But books and backyards were nothing like this. The real wild was calling them. They took their first steps. Leaving the small riverside settlement behind felt huge. Instantly the sounds changed. The noise of modern life faded, replaced by bird calls, monkey chatters, and a deep hum. The smell was earthy, damp, and full of life. It was intoxicating. Each breath felt different, fresher yet heavier with the unknown. This was it. No turning back now. Their journey had truly begun. Pure adrenaline coursed through their veins. Liam gripped his machete, a nervous grin on his face. Maya double-checked her compass, her eyes wide with anticipation. Chloe was already trying to identify the vibrant flowers. Ben just stared, speechless, at the wall of green. They felt like pioneers, like the explorers they had read about in books. The jungle was a living, breathing giant, and they were about to walk into its heart. Their rucksacks felt heavy, packed with essentials. Water purifiers, first aid kits, ropes, and food for the first few days. They had a map, carefully marked, and a plan. Stick together, stay alert, respect the jungle. The path ahead was barely visible, a faint trail disappearing into shadows. The scale of it was immense, a green ocean stretching for thousands of miles. This was going to be tough, but incredible. Deeper they went. The jungle closed in around them. Sunlight struggled to reach the forest floor. Giant trees formed a dense canopy high above. Their trunks were massive, ancient. Vines hung down like thick ropes. Everything was green, so many shades of green. It was beautiful but also overwhelming. They had to watch every step. Roots snaked across the path. The ground was uneven, soft in places. The plants were like nothing from home. Huge leaves, big enough to use as umbrellas. Flowers exploded in reds, yellows, and purples. Strange, unknown fruits hung from branches. Their local guide Kai, who met them for this deeper section, pointed. "This one, good to eat," he'd say. Then, "This one, touch it, you get sick." They learned quickly. The jungle provided, but it also hid dangers. Every plant had a story. Wildlife was everywhere. Macaws like flying rainbows screeched overhead. Tiny bright poison dart frogs hopped among the leaves, so beautiful yet so deadly. Monkeys chattered and leaped through the branches above. Curious eyes watched the group pass. They saw giant butterflies, wings like stained glass, and insects, so many insects. Some fascinating, some just plain annoying. The air vibrated with their sounds. The sounds of the Amazon became their constant companion, a non-stop symphony of life. The eerie roar of howler monkeys echoed in the distance. It sounded like a monster. Birds sang complex songs, insects buzzed, clicked, and chirped. At night, the jungle came alive with new sounds, rustling in the undergrowth, strange calls in the dark. It was a reminder. They were visitors here, in a powerful, ancient world. The first few days were a blur. The initial excitement met the harsh reality. The heat was intense, sapping their energy. Sweat dripped constantly. Mosquitoes were relentless. They whined in their ears, leaving itchy bites. Despite repellent, some always got through. The rough terrain made walking hard. Uphills were killers, downhills treacherous. Their muscles ached. Their spirits sometimes wavered. Navigating was a constant challenge. One wrong turn could mean big trouble. Green walls surrounded them. Every tree started to look the same. Maya kept checking the map and compass. Liam helped scout ahead. Ben and Chloe learned to spot trail markers shown by Kai. Fear was a quiet passenger. The fear of getting lost. The fear of the unknown dangers lurking just out of sight. They had to trust each other. Then came the river, wider than they expected. The water was brown, murky. The current looked strong. Kai showed them a fallen tree that formed a natural bridge. It was slippery, unstable. Crossing it took courage. One by one, they edged across. Hearts pounded. A slip could mean disaster. Reaching the other side was a small victory. It felt good. They were learning to face these challenges head-on. One evening, as dusk settled, they heard it. A low growl, close by, too close. Kai froze them with a hand signal, jaguar. They didn't see it, but they felt its presence. Fear, cold and sharp, gripped them. They stayed silent, barely breathing. After what felt like an age, Kai nodded. The danger had passed. That night, sleep was hard to find. The jungle demanded respect. They were learning that lesson, the hard way. Food became a focus. Their supplies were planned to dwindle. Kai taught them how to spot edible palm hearts, which grubs were packed with protein. He showed them how to set simple snares, and how to fish with a basic line and hook. The first fish Liam caught was small, but it tasted like a feast. There was a deep satisfaction, providing for themselves, connecting with the wild in a new way. They overcame bigger obstacles too. One day, a storm hit. Rain lashed down, turning the trail into mud. They had to build a makeshift shelter, huddled together, cold and wet, but they worked as a team, and they made it through. Another time they had to scale a steep muddy bank, using roots and vines to pull themselves up. Each challenge overcome built their confidence. They were stronger than they knew. Finally, they reached their extraction point, a small clearing by a river. They were dirty, tired, and covered in bites. But their smiles were huge. They had done it. They had faced the Amazon, and they had survived. More than survived. They had thrived. Looking back at the dense wall of green, they felt a huge sense of accomplishment. A quiet pride filled them. It was an amazing feeling. The Amazon had changed them. It taught them resilience, how to keep going when things got tough. It taught them teamwork, the importance of relying on each other, and it gave them a profound respect for nature, for its beauty, its power, its fragility. They learned about their own strengths, their own limits. The adventure was over, but the lessons would stay with them forever. The wild had left its mark.